So she steps out of the door, and when she closes the daughter hears the click, click. And she says, oh, mommy, mommy. And there's no response. She goes, mommy, mommy, mommy. Nobody responds. She goes around the house calling for her mother, and there's no one there. It only happened in a few minutes. So for a moment she thinks that her mother has left her for good, that her world is ending. She feels a lot of pain, and she starts crying. In order to survive that survival instinct, she starts convincing herself of certain things, so I can survive. She might say, I am not worthy of love, or whenever I love someone deeply, that person leaves me. Or whoever love, I do not deserve love, I do not deserve to be cared for, therefore I am alone in this world. She begins to say, when she convinces herself of that, then she can survive. She may still quit crying. Mother comes a few minutes later. She sees the daughter crying. She calls her daughter. She stops crying, but she already wrote that program in her brain. What happens as the daughter grows up? She becomes a teenager. She falls in love with a boy. Everything is good. She gets really close to the boy. And then when she gets a certain level, certain closeness, that program gets active again. Whenever I love someone deeply, they leave me. So that daughter, that lady now, begins to act accordingly, to say certain things, to act certain things in a way that, according to that program, so that the boy will actually leave her. Her heart is broken. Takes a few years to heal that. She falls in love again. Same thing happens. She actually has a magnet of abandonment, of rejection, that draws somebody who will actually help her play that out. Good? So that's just, you've heard this many times, right? So there's nothing new about this. Just put it out there. Another thing that is feeding our mental magnets is our habits of thought. Another one is limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. What is a limiting belief? In my language, and there's described different ways in different psychology, but limiting belief is a deep emotional trauma of a past life that wasn't healed. You come back into this life, you're already programmed. I am rejectable, I am not worthy of love, or whatever that is. Now, if trauma of that when you were a 4-year-old, it's an emotional body. It's triggered by environment. I get close to a boy and I could feel it. I'm afraid of it. A limiting belief is in your mental body. You have no idea it's there. You don't feel it, but it's part of your being. Very tough to become aware of it, first of all. Much harder to get rid of it. It's really that what decides your life, how you're going to be. We all have some of that. Another thing that is feeding our mental magnet is like suggested thoughts of others, especially when we are young. Father and mother says you have to be this way, that way, and that's influenced. As we grow up, our peer pressure. Everybody gets the same cell phone. We all have to get the same cell phone, right? Smartphone, right? We don't want to get behind. And of course, our desires. Our desires are simply something that we put consciously our attention into something in energy. So I would like to, let's see, this is like how the different emotions and different things affect our brain and our heart. So in fetal development, the heart's form starts beating before the brain begins to develop. So it's so powerful that even when we begin inside the mother's womb, we're already picking up things from our environment. And we bring it from things from the past. It's triggered. It goes on and on and on. So I like to think that our brain is like an antenna, a digital antenna. In its broadcasting antenna, it says, ask and you shall receive. You heard that before, right? It's like the law of like gravity. Whatever you ask, you get it. It didn't say only when you ask this way or that way, only for you, but not for you. Whatever we ask, we get it. It's a law. Asking meaning I vibrate something, I broadcast something with exact clarity and with enough intensity, and I get a matching frequency. Okay? So let's analyze. So if whatever we ask, we get it, what does it mean? Are we all agree with that? Whatever we ask, we get it? Means whatever we have, we ask for it, right? Down to the second, down to the dime. Everything we get, we ask for it. Most of it unconsciously in our past. So let's see if we can change that. Let's think about our antennas being fed by two different sources. One would be like the higher frequency sources, that thoughts of love, understanding, compassion, prosperity, all those things that we consciously want to achieve. Who wants to achieve, be prosperous? Who wants to have a very fulfilling, loving life? Who wants to be happy? Who wants to be healthy? Anybody? All right, okay. So that's the conscious part. Now, but there's another source of it too, which is called lower in frequency. I say lower because they're actually lower in frequency. Now science can measure this. They put things in your brain, they can measure what frequency you're vibrating at. Exactly. They are lower, and they are things like frustration, anger, disappointment, uncertainty, confusion, all those things, all the traumas of the past, all the limiting stuff that you have, that are also feeding the magnet, the antenna, you're broadcasting. Now, most of it, you are not conscious of it, because nobody is consciously, what sometimes we do, but we're not, I am vibrating anger, no, it's just there. So if we are feeding this and this, what's the result? You said, I deserve prosperity, and this is, you don't. The signal that we are putting out is something like this, and we keep getting a matching frequency, which is the same stuff over and over and over. We go to a seminar, we go to a workshop, we go to all that stuff. We study psychology because we feel we're messed up, whatever it is. We learn to broadcast the stuff, but the fact is that this is still feeding it. And 90% of your life is controlled by it. And there you are. You already knew that, right? Okay, so I'm not going to leave you there. I'm going to show you something. So I would like a volunteer. It won't hurt. Come on over here. Very good. Yeah, that's right there, That's good, yeah. I'm going to use a little bit called muscle testing. Are you familiar with muscle testing? Very good, yeah. Most natural doctors today, they use it. So if you would like to extend your arm right there, maybe a little lower. Right there. I'm going to push down, and you resist a little bit, okay? Okay, resist. Okay, she's very strong. I want you to say yes. Say yes.
Yes.
Resist. Say no.
No.
Resist. Okay, say your name.
Philippe.
Say I am George.
I am George.
All right, she's not George, good. So I'm talking to her body, okay? So I'm going to use in this, basically when she says yes, she's powerful. When she says no, a lot of that no has a frequency, because lower activates a lot of no stuff. It hits the brain and you lose your power. Think about something beautiful, like a beautiful sunset. Resist. She's very strong. Think the dog is barking on you, attacking you. You see that when she thinks about the sunset, all this positive stuff comes up. She's powerful. She thinks about a dog attacking her. It triggers all the fears about being attacked, being bitten, all the stuff that hitting her brain, and he loses power. She loses power. So we could go on like this for many, many things. So I want you now to say, just look at the audience, and say, I am worthy of abundance.
I am worthy of abundance.
Nope. Say, I deserve lots of money.
I deserve lots of money.
Very, very weak. I have the power to create prosperity.
I have the power to create prosperity.
I deserve to be fully loved.
I deserve to be fully loved.
I am able to love others unconditionally.
I am able to love others unconditionally.
Thank you very much. But you're doing great. We have a solution for you, don't worry. So, you see that we can test. One time we were doing with Claudia, we were doing a presentation with a Spanish group of like 35 people. They all lined up.
Everybody wanted to come up
Like that, you know.
and see, and everybody had the same thing. I think there wasn't one person who kept their arm strong.
Yeah.
So we all have it.
Yeah, because it's the age we live in. We are programmed like this. They bring, basically the mass programming that we have about money, about love, and all that. That's why we struggle so much. So we all have that. Basically, there's so much unresolved stuff in the subconscious mind, so many limited beliefs that it's controlling our lives. So what if we can actually remember that we have these frequencies and these frequencies feeding our magnet, our brain? What if we could magnetically push the higher frequencies up and ground the frequencies down so they don't hit the brain? How would that be?
Right.
Anybody would be interested in it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
If you can consciously or through scientifically or whatever it means you might be, like a magnet, you have positive and negative. They draw. You go like this, it repels, right? So if you have two things hitting your brain and you put a magnet there that pushes the high frequencies up and grounds the low frequencies down, it doesn't allow you to hit the brain, how would that be?
Nice. Divine.
What would happen if you can do that and you can broadcast, I am worthy of abundance? What would happen?
You would shift, you would have more abundance.
You have the exactly. Okay. I need another volunteer for the same video. Where? Come on.
Don't hurt me.
Huh?
Don't hurt me.
Which arm is it strong? That
Oh,
one.
this is the strong.
That's a strong one. Okay. So I'm gonna. It's right. All right. So I'm gonna push and resist a little bit. Resist. Good. Say yes.
Yes.
Resist. Say no.
No.
Okay. Your name?
Jamie.
Say I'm Maria.
I'm Maria.
Okay, good. I'm just talking to this guy. That's all right. Okay. I want to now. You ever seen a cell phone? You ever hear what it does to you?
Oh, yeah.